Right, let's break that down in full. Right, full truth. This is the first time in life you've ever seen me sober. Somebody was like, oh, you should do an insurance job on it. And I was like, what do you mean? They were like, well, you insure it and then you pretend it's been nicked in a burglary. And I was like, sounds easy, that. I had a friend who did double glazing for a living, and he took the window out, ran in and opened all the drawers with these gloves on, and that rang the police, put an insurance claim in. The insurance company paid out £21,500.
Did you think you'd made it then?
When I got the deal for my first solo album, I thought I was Robbie Williams.
What do you mean you paid a little win?
Paid a little win, 10 grand.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on Spotify.
My money, young money, cash money, millionaire.
What was the lowest point through your addiction?
Nobody can understand an addict like another addict. At one point, I even pretended to be sober for 2.5 years. I did everything right except for the only mistake I made doing this. The thing that got me caught is I told people about it. Terrified. Christ, I'm going to jail.
So today we are joined by Hedgehog man, Craig.
Don't scare me, I've been through a lot. One of a kind of the last of a dying breed. Don't compare me to a lost cause. Beat demons and bury them deep. Guardian angel in heaven still speaks, and I take on board every lesson he teaches me. Conform and forever be sheep. Build walls that can never be breached. Tune your thoughts to a positive frequency. Take note of the benefits reaped. Can't be bought, the men sell cheap. I'm bored cause the devil is asleep. The devil obstructs me frequently, but I try to ignore him whenever he speaks. One foot in front of the other, I struggle, but I still listen to the troubles of others.
Hey, coming straight from the primordial ooze, walking out to a chorus of booze, more store full of booze. Don't need anything to show on my fuse. Alive by a fire, pouring water over the fuse, and you don't wanna be top report all over the news. Yeah, but you're gonna be, can be copied. There's only one of me.
And I may not do it justice. Maybe you can trust this. Cause it's true when I say I love everything about it. In every single way, you're my sunshine.
Climbed out at the pit, feel free for the morning. 9 text, 6 call, 6 9, no about this stalking. Man, I take cheers, too many dicks talking. I never ride with the stairs, guarantee that I'm walking. I'm gonna blow from the T.O.S. Bin Laden. Man, I'm so done with the scene. But I gotta keep climbing, gotta put a place on the map like Google. I take the one in the bag. You gotta honor the man. The kids, we're getting on it with the lads. We're going for guns to the donut and bombs, it's a run. Parking for the rocket, feel I'm ready for whatever. There's nothing better than the pain and all weather. The Friday flyer is past, we're gonna get so high. We're flying off the mark.
Right, we've just came from Static, right, at the club in No Shields. What did you think of Static at the club, Chrissy?
It was canny.
It was canny. It was good. Davey Blast was on, not seen him perform for years and years and years and years. Max is on, see him all the time now. Who else is on? Amber Desi, she was good. Little Red, didn't know who she was before night, but she was pretty good. Who else was on? I don't think Ferraba, obviously, War Ferraba. He was mint. Tigger. Trav.
Something and Kid, I can't remember their name, the two people.
Something and Kid, or War Kid in... Is it Max and War Kid or something? Matt and War Kid? One. Anyway, the two youngins, they were good. But no, it was good. I'll show you some clips of it now, actually. It's very grainy in here. It must be because it's really dark. God almighty. Look at that, Chrissy. Look, $1 million.
I've gone the wrong way.
But they're Canadian dollars. No, I. Living the dream in Gateshead Stadium.
Christmas market.
Get out me life.
Yay.
Sell out, Rich.
Happy birthday.
It's good, this. If anybody wants a wooden penguin wearing a tune top, get yourself down today. Alright, okay. Twitch are you, Chrissy? It's rammed in here. Well, look, it's a mushroom hedgehog hybrid. What do you mean to me? We're still pals.
You look like you're having fun.
Tiny little Carberry. Go on, Noxie, son. Do they normally come down this easy?
Nope. 20 years of water damage does.
Oh, that one's crumbling. New ceiling as fuck. He's done a good job. Got rid of the sponging cock at least, that's good.
It's getting there.
Come on, you bastards. What are they?
Belly pork pieces in teriyaki sauce.
Nice. What's that? Monkfish.
Wrapped in bacon with pasta.
Nice. Fillet steak.
And our amazing vocalist, Jamila!
It is so much fun playing for you guys, you have no idea. Am I right, y'all? Last night was insane. So let's see if we can top that. Aw, freak out! Aw, freak out! Aw, freak out! Aw, freak out! 1, 2, aw, freak out! Say shit! Freak out! Woo! Come on! Come too far! So let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. You guys rock.
Battle cards. Let's keep talking over the video, that'd be great.
Adjust the seatbelt, fasten your seatbelt.
That looks interesting. I don't trust the eyes on it, do you?
No, definitely not.
That's it, stand right and let me show. Fat twats. Get in. Can he like?
Nice. Bicycles.
Right. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hi.
Right, I've arrived in Carlisle. Time to find young Vicky. So we're in Nando's. Diet Chips is my proper pal. I'm going to do a video where I sit down and I tell you all about it when I've got more time. But Diet Chips, I'm surprised he's not coming to Nando's with it. So there's 2 sex offence cases before Decca. So they got heard. And then what time was it when we went in? 25? About 25 past 11, Decca was called in. So brought him up from the dock, we went in. And they basically told him that if he goes to trial and he's found guilty, he's getting 2 years. If he pleads guilty, he's getting 2 years. So he's getting 2 years regardless. They're giving him the maximum sentence that they can for the charges, which is 2 years. And then Decca tried to leave the dock. He just tried to let himself out the dock, and the door opened and he tried to walk in the courtroom and the security jumped up. I think he was just trying to give his mum a cuddle or something. Diet Chips come in late in the courtroom and was just wandering around like one of the crankies, apologising to everybody. And got told off. Honestly, you can't write this. It's a proper parody. But we're just gonna have a Nando's now, and then the trial starts at 2 o'clock. Derek being stubborn, I think he's going to go to trial, isn't he? Oh, we've got some sketches so far. So that's Diet Chips. Then there's Babs on the next page, and then we've got Babs. Babs looks like a South Park character. These are Vicky's sketches, I'm not taking credit for them, but we'll keep you updated. Trial day 1 continues. Come on, you bastards. So after lunch we went to go back into the court. We're greeted outside the court by a court usher that said that Derek is, are you here for the Heggie case, code 3? We said yes. He said he's changed his plea to guilty and it's been adjourned until the 13th. So as opposed to staying in a hotel overnight and staying until tomorrow night, I'm just back at the train station now, going to be on the next train home. So that concludes our trip. Hi everyone, welcome to another vlog. I'm Hedgehog Man. For those of you who don't know, I'm pretty sure you will do by now though. Right, what we're going to talk about. Well, first of all, the footage you've just seen, I've done quite a lot since my last vlog. It's been, I think, 2.5, maybe 3 weeks. Highlights of that for me was I got to see Nile Rodgers live, who's an absolute legend of a songwriter and performer. Very grateful for that. That was mint. Thank you to the person who gave me the tickets for that. I really appreciate it. What else? We went to Wendy's in Newcastle. Wendy's open in Newcastle now. I quite like Wendy's in America, but I've been to America maybe 15 times or so. And I tend not to bother with Wendy's too much when I'm there because there's that much choice there. There's stuff I prefer, but it's probably the nicest burger in Newcastle for fast food. So went there on the opening day, tried that, just like America. Very happy with that. Definitely be going back. It's cheap as well. It's pretty cheap. We got both meals for me and Chrissy, I think, were like 15 quid for the two, which is good these days because, you know, you go somewhere like Five Guys. I think a burger's the best part of 15 quid or something, innit? Then went go-karting. So went to Chaos Karts. Well, I've been at Chaos Karts in London a while ago when I went to go and see Dave Chappelle. We went on the daytime. And then we had like a cult night out, or a cult outing, we'll say. Chaos Karts in Manchester. And they've opened one called Battle Karts in it's in Gateshead. It's next to the Metro, so it's not far from the Metro Centre. And it was brilliant. It might be my favourite of the ones I've done. Because they don't just have the tracks where you race around a track with other people. They have games you can play as well. We played like a game of pool, which, to be honest, I think there's 7 different games you can play. We did 2 of them. To be honest, the pool wasn't that great. We did this one where you had to stop a virus or something. I'm not really sure what the point of the game was, but that was lethal because the go-kart seemed to go a bit faster on that one. It was like power-ups you could go over and the speed up. The karts are they've got computers on board, so that they're quite intelligent. Like, you can't crash into each other. You don't have to wear a helmet or anything like that. It was fucking mint. I really enjoyed it. Definitely do that again as well. We should organise another cult night out. We'll just be I don't know. We'll probably sort it out in the Discord. Right. So what I'm here today to talk about more than anything else is the Scotty J and Paddy situation. Now, I've held back making a video on this recently over the past few days because something new is happening every single day. And I'm recording this on Monday the 9th. It's 5 p.m. and it won't go out till Tuesday. So if something's happened in the meantime, we'll cover it next time. But I don't want to get too, as you know myself, I'm a recovering addict, and I don't want to get too preachy or anything on here. And I know different things work for different people when it comes to getting clean. I mean, I'm coming up to a year. It's the 9th of December now, and on the 17th, it'll be a year for me. And it's been the best year of my life. It's the best thing I've ever done. And one day at a time, hopefully, I'll never go back to that. But I can't talk about Scotty J's situation in terms of his addiction and what's going on with him, but I can talk about what's worked for me. And I can compare those differences to the people that I've met, or the similarities and differences to the people that I've met in the rooms of NA. For the last 12 months, I've spent 3 hours a week minimum, because I go to 2 90-minute meetings a week. It's 3 hours a week minimum, only sitting talking and listening to other addicts. And there's been people who've came in to get clean in a similar state to Scotty, very, very, very similar, same look. I don't know what it is, but like when they seem to be on like heroin or opiates and their faces are like sort of like sunk in at the sides, very, very similar look, very similar in the way they talk in terms of them not being coherent at all. I've never seen anybody in there with their eyes rolling back in their heads, but there were people that were at least trying to get clean. And the people that I've met since I've started NA that have been as far gone as Scotty, are the same people that have passed away while I've been in NA. And you know, some people, when it comes to addiction, I'm fortunate enough to not have been addicted to the drugs that Scotty's addicted to, and that's why I don't really know much about them. I've got to be honest, I'd never even fucking heard of pre-gabs before I came on here. And I heard they're big in jail. I've been to jail and I've still never heard of them. I've heard about them a lot on YouTube though over the past 2-3 years. It's fucking mad. And you know, the people that I've spoken to in there in NA and whatnot about it, and some of them in NA watch Scotty's videos, and you know, like everybody just says, like, you know, I think he's too far gone. And unfortunately, this only ever ends one of 3 ways for somebody like Scotty in active addiction. There's only 3 possible outcomes, and there you end up in jail, you end up in a mental institution, or you end up dead. There's no 4th option. If you keep going like that, they're the only things that are going to happen. And you know, I saw Scotty on a video of Paddy, and he was begging Paddy, please let us go, please. And you know, years ago, I've begged friends like that before that have tried to help me. So I kind of, you know, I saw like a lot of people laughing about it and whatnot, but it resonated with me because I've been there, and it took us back to that time, and I just thought, fucking hell, I certainly don't miss that desperation. It's fucking horrible. But at the same time, those people that I was begging were trying to do right by me, like Paddy is doing for him. But at the time, I just thought they were being arseholes. But now I see it for what exactly it was, which is just love, really. It's love and compassion and caring. And I see the frustration in Paddy as well a lot. And you know, me and Paddy don't see eye to eye on a lot of subjects, but he's definitely in the right in this situation, isn't he? And to me, I think it's just more Paddy can't comprehend why Scotty wants to do this, but that's what addiction does to you. And I'm not saying that you can't hold Scotty responsible for his own actions, because you have to hold him responsible because of the decisions he's making. Whether it's on the back of an addiction or not, it's still his actions, and what he wants is what's causing all this. And until he's ready until he's hit rock bottom, then he can't bounce back up. And until he's hit rock bottom and he genuinely wants to stop, no one can help him. No one. You know, I know people through NA that have gone into residential rehabs for 3 months. Some of them being paid for privately. It's very expensive to do 3 months in a residential rehab. It's about 20 grand. And some of them have got what they call charity beds in there, where like, so each residential rehab, they're normally privately owned. They'll rent out the beds for anything upwards of £3,000 a month. And they have one charity bed where they let somebody like Scotty, who can't afford it, come in. You know, I don't know if there's a waiting list. I don't know how they work getting into them like that. But where there's a waiting list and they get the person in, and people that have been gotten into them by their, you know, put in one of them by their families for 3 months, and they haven't wanted to stop. So what they're basically doing is they're just giving themselves a break, and they do the 12 weeks sober with 24-hour around the clock care, because they've got no choice in the matter kind of thing. And they have like a graduation thing at the end where their family celebrate it and that. And then they go out the next day and use again, or they go out the next week and use again, or their sole intention in there is just, let's do this, let's get clean, let's show everybody I can do it. And then because they don't want to stop, they won't stop. You have to want to stop. You have to want to stop more than you want to use. And that's just not where Scotty is, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Don't get us wrong. I was told initially when Scotty came onto YouTube a long time ago now, one of my friends reached out to us and said, I've known him for fucking years. Stay away from him. He's a scumbag, right? So for that reason, I never got that involved with Scotty, like at all. Like I was going to say I've never met the guy, but I have met the guy. I did meet him for 60 seconds or so at the BKFC. I have met him, but for that reason, that's why I've never, like, you know, had him do a sit. Well, at one point I was going to do a sit down podcast with him, and he just fucked us about, and then Yeah, I've kept me distance from him because he doesn't live well. When he lived where he lived, he doesn't live that far away from me. I could walk there if I wanted to. It might take us half an hour, but I could walk there if I wanted to. And I've kept me distance for that reason. And you know, whether people think he's a scumbag because of the things he's done as an addict, or whether he's just a scumbag underneath it all, it's very difficult to tell with somebody like Scotty because being in active addiction for 20 years plus, so that's his entire adult life. So it's like, if you do something that makes you a cunt on a day-by-day basis, you're a cunt, aren't you? You know what I mean? It's all good and well, people saying, oh, you know, there's a good Scotty in there waiting to get out and blah, blah, blah. It's like, is that? Because when you spend more than 50% of your life living in a certain way, you become that person. You can become people, you know, you can start hanging around with a new group of friends and it changes you a bit slightly in the matter of a few months. I mean, you know, and it works in reverse too, because I hang around now with a lot of addicts in recovery. I'll hang around now with a lot of sober people. And that rubs off on me. So if you're only hanging around with people like that and you're only in, I'm just babbling shit here, aren't I? And you know what I mean? It's like, at the same time, I don't want to be nasty either, because, you know, but it's a long story short. It looks like today Paddy's got a video scheduled for half an hour's time or whatever, and it's called Scotty Gets His Marching Orders. There's 3 parts of it. I'm going out in a few minutes, so I'll watch them tonight when I get home. Also, I'll be watching my episode of the Content Cast is out now. I'll put the link in the description for that. Go and check that out. Probably, in fact, you saw the advert for that at the start of this. Very happy with how that came out. I think I'm a much better podcast guest than I am a host. I forgot what I was fucking saying now. Yeah, that's it. So if Paddy's kicking him off the farm, which is probably the best thing Paddy can do, even if it's just for his own fucking sanity and peace of mind, to be honest with you, because Scotty's doing nothing but telling him fucking barefaced lies. Scotty's had off his tits. I watched a video yesterday that I think was recorded on Friday, where Paddy was confronting him about the phone call. And I think Scotty was out of his tits. And I'm not saying this to be funny, but it is funny. I think Scotty forgot he was Scotty at one point. Like he was going, oh, I shit that. Like, he had no involvement in the phone call that was being played at all. And then he's on a live saying, you know, oh, I couldn't give a fuck what people think about me. And then he's on another recording saying, Sheriff's got me fucking GoFundMe money. It's my money. I wanted. You know, everybody that gave to that GoFundMe, I guarantee, me included, I gave to that GoFundMe. I guarantee not one of those people was giving money to that GoFundMe to be spent on drugs. Not one of them. So whatever Sheriff decides to do with that money, I think would be a better option than giving it to Scotty. But if Paddy kicks him off the farm, then Paddy's got no shit. Well, he doesn't have to put up with these fucking shit anymore. And let's be honest, Scotty's made a right cunt out of everybody. And somebody else as well, while waving me aerial around here, somebody else as well that I think gets a lot of shit that's undeserved is Jimmy Newman. Because Jimmy Newman tried to do what Paddy tried to do. Yes, Paddy got a little bit further down the line with it, and Scotty's not ripped Paddy off at any money. But Jimmy Newman was trying to do the exact same thing Paddy tried to do, and he seems to get shit for it. And Scotty ripped him off for hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Yes, Jimmy deleted his YouTube channel, which you can argue is a bit of a cunt's move. I'm not sure if I agree with that or not. I don't really fucking care, to tell you the truth. But Jimmy was getting an alarming amount of shit, and all he was just trying to do was the same thing. And then he's gone to Paddy's, and he's done exactly the same thing. Instead of ripping Paddy off for money, he's ripped off the GoFundMe people, in a sense, really, hasn't he? And yeah, I just think, you know, Scotty J, unfortunately, should be Scotty J's problem, which is probably quite a cold-hearted and very, what's the word I'm looking for, blunt thing to say, but it's he doesn't want to stop, so he's not going to stop. Addicts do what they want when they want. Believe you me, I was one for fucking most of my adult life. I'm still one now. I'm just in recovery. Addicts do what they want when they want. And when I decided that I didn't want to use anymore, because, I mean, and don't get us wrong as well, right? I was conscious for 10 years before I quit that my life would be better if I stopped taking drugs, and it still didn't stop us. But just, you know, I'm just one of the lucky ones. I woke up one morning and on the 17th of December last year and just thought to myself, and I knew inside of us something was different. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And then, which has happened to me a few times in the past, mind, but I've managed to get to about 28 days by myself and then started using again. Your brain convinces you. They go, oh, your brain goes, oh, you prove you can not take it all the time now. Just go out and have a few pints. You have a few pints one night, and then the next night, oh, I'm going to have a few pints. I just had a few pints last night. Before you know where you are, you've been awake for 3 days, and you're fucking right back to square one, and then you don't stop again for fucking months or years, or sometimes ever. Sometimes people die. A lot of people die. This is just a fucking proper senseless rant, this, isn't it? But that's what happens. And luckily for me, what was different this time is on the 19th of December, I got a random phone call off Paul Venice. And what had happened is Rachel had reached out to Paul Venice, knowing he was sober, and told him, look, Craig's really he's really struggling. He's really trying hard to give up again. Can you give him a ring and just talk to him? And she knows I look up to Paul Venice. And he told us to go to a meeting. I've been told to go to meetings loads of times off people. But because it was, to be honest with you, as daft as it sounds, because it was him that said it, I was like, you know what, I want to fucking try that. And I went and tried and I've never looked back. But the difference between me and Scotty is I wanted to stop and Scotty doesn't. And the harsh reality is Scotty will only end up in jail where he'll still use drugs, in a mental institution where if he gets out, he'll still use drugs, or dead. They're the only options. And it's sad, but that's life. Unfortunately, that's the life of an addict. Okay, now. What a load of babbling crap that was, Craig. No, but you know what I mean? You know what it is? I feel a bit better for getting that off my chest about the subject, because over the last couple of days, I've typed quite a few lengthy comments and I've deleted them, because for what I've got to say on this subject could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And, you know, and I don't want to come across preachy, and I don't want to come across like I'm condemning him to death. But that's the reality. It's not my fault. Do you know what I mean? Like, he relapsed, right? And I use the term relapse loosely in this case because when you relapse, first of all, you have to be completely clean in the first place to relapse, in my opinion. And I'm fairly sure that's a textbook definition of a relapse. So that means no weed for him, no alcohol for him, no prescription medication that he's taken just because it's prescribed by a doctor, by the way, because you're addicted to it, doesn't make it okay. Loads of people I know have made the mistake of changing a drug dealer to a doctor. It still doesn't make it okay. Unless you're taking it because you need to take it for something else. You're still on a drug because you're addicted to it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people get addicted to pain medications and they manage to con the doctor. They're waving their stick around again, and they manage to con the doctor into prescribing it just so they don't have to pay for it. That doesn't mean anything. That you have to have a relapse. You have to be sober in the first fucking place, and clean and serene, completely clean of any mind-altering substance. Clean. Not, oh, well, I'm only taking this. There's no only with it. There's no only with it. Not as far as I'm concerned. So this relapse anyway, Scotty's been through. When you want to quit, and like I say, there's been times in the past I've lasted about 28 days, and I keep saying 28 days because I never seem to be able to get to a month. I never seem to be able to get to 30 days. But about 24 days in, my brain used to start tricking itself into thinking, oh, it's going to be all right this time. You're cured now. I fucking wasn't, right? So this relapse. In the past, when I've done that, and I've really, really, really wanted to quit, and you end up relapsing, when you come corpus mentis again, you realize what you've done. There's a huge shame involved in it. There's a huge shame in relapsing because you know you shouldn't be doing it. And that's not where Scotty is. Scotty's like, well, I'm gone out for the day. You know what I mean? He couldn't give a fuck, man. He couldn't give a fuck. And it's going to kill him. I'm going to end this there because I'm going to IKEA now to make fucking... What's Chrissy got us doing? Some of the things I agree to just to keep her happy is mentally... Oh, that's it. I'm going reef making tonight. So expect the next vlog to start with Hedgehog Man goes reef hunting. Not reef hunting. Fuck me. Reef making. Hedgehog Man goes reef making. There we go. Have a good weekend. It's Monday night. Take care, everyone.